these few successful people are what the people that are at home usually think about by giving their children out to be trafficked like that. Because it's not in all the cases these people are just stealing like what the Boko Haram did in Nigeria. Sometimes family members do give their children out into this journey because they have no idea of the psychological trauma that they are
Right.
putting their parents into, they are putting their children into. They are basically selling them out.
Right.
So the question is, tell me maybe a little bit of statistics. How many of them do really make it after you have rescued them? They become normal, they get work, everything is okay.
So I don't have statistics on that because that's not the area I do the pre stuff. But what I can tell you is I am in contact with some people who are in the process of reintegrating back into society because I formed a relationship with the family as I was going through this with them. Some of the girls are doing really, really well, and some of the girls are struggling. So I think it depends on several things. Number one, how long they were in the bad situation, what kind of family support they have when they come out. Are they taking their therapy serious? Are there any substance abuse issues that we have to deal with as a result of what they went through? Because some people, coping mechanisms aren't there. So they turn to alcohol or drugs or whatever just to be able to cope during the day with their mind, right? They want to zone out. So there's all different kind of things going on. So depending on what that individual is going through is going to determine the success rate, how fast they recover, and all those kind of things. So I don't have a specific statistic for that, but what I can tell you is that it varies by person because everybody is different. Everybody has different coping skills. Some people are able to cope better than others. Some people have a more supportive environment at home, and maybe somebody else doesn't even have a family. And they're going through this on their own. All they have is their counselor or their therapy group. So it just kind of depends on the environment that the person comes back to, what they endured while they were in it. Or do they have any extra issues to deal with, like alcoholism, drugs, whatever, prostitution, whatever?
So, for example, because I've worked with some group here, and some of them are local, some of them governmental organizations, sometimes the United Nations agency. So we do know that some of them do have a connection to some organization back home. Okay, we are looking at the African immigration situation. No? So there are some organizations right there in Nigeria looking at the Nigerian case, no, of maybe the women that have been repatriated. There are something that they need to do to help them be reintegrated into the society, some little fund, give it to them so that they can start something of their own. So the process is a little bit long, but there are some issues like this. And why this is going on too, there are some in Edo State, there are some in Lagos and some other, because I do know some of them that are happy in this area. So there is also the work that is going on, within the area of sensitization program on how to help the people understand what is really happening here. Because sometimes they don't understand what is happening here. They think everything is rosy. So whatever you can do, even if you just to come and pack shit, hey, tie me, put me inside whatever you want to put me, take me to Europe. They don't understand what is happening in Europe. That maybe if you go to the central station in Milan, the Milan Central Station, you will see a lot of Africans that are just lying on the street there. They don't have anywhere to go. That is their Europe. If you go to Rome, it's the same. You go to Berlin, it's the same. Go to France, it's the same. Nobody, of course, talk about those ones. They only talk about those few people that have become successful. And whatever you do to become successful, they don't really care about it, And that can really be the tragedy, which means that you are in. You just know that you can do anything you like. If you like, die. It doesn't matter. If you come with a good result, people are going to shout your name. If you don't come with a good result, then you are a fucked up person, So that is also a part of it, meaning that the society need to take up also a responsibility in those areas. So talking of that responsibility, then of course we'll be talking about education. Do you sometimes have to work with agency in the home country where these immigrants are coming from, sort of help in sensitization program, helping them to be reintegrated into their home country instead of remaining in the United States, something like that?
So the organizations set that kind of stuff up. That I don't do that. The organizations that I work with have people in the organizations that are connected with these different countries and different organizations in different countries that can do exactly what you're saying. So they do have those services here. A lot of people choose to remain in the United States, though, because if they're trafficked from here, typically they have a family here. This is where they were raised, and this is what they know. So they're not going to necessarily want to go back to another country unless that's where their family is at. Sometimes that's not the case.
And there is this famous number, I think, was it like 3 million people that are illegal in the United States, no? And during
Probably, and that's probably underestimated, yeah.
I remember during the administration of Obama, there was this, it was just the discussion that maybe they could be given amnesty, you know. That was already a big issue. But because illegal immigration is a big business, no?
Yep.
So as long not only in the United States, in all across, particularly in Europe now, it's also is growing very well, because as long as you are illegal, people can do whatever they like with you, no? And this is like what we already discussed before about the human right. Because if you are not visible, if the state doesn't recognize you, you are not in the data, you are not in the anography, you are invisible, no? So you become basically agent that can be used by anyone. So this question of illegal immigrant, alien, I think that is what you guys call it there, illegal alien.
Yeah, some people call them that.
Is there something working to sort of help reduce the number? I mean, regularizing a lot of a good number of them so that they can, because already they're already in the system, no? So that they can be legally in the system.
I don't work for immigration. What I can tell you is that immigration is a huge problem here in the United States. And just as you said, it is a big money thing because immigrants typically are working the agriculture sector. They pay them very little money, work them very long hours. And so these companies are making a lot of money when they sell the food, right? So it's a big money thing. And then they work in other jobs. Companies hire them illegally because they can pay them less wages. It's just a big, horrible mess. But there are laws here in the United States that protect the immigrants here. And I know here in Arizona, they have a task force that goes out, and these employers that are hiring people illegally and treating these people wrong are being held accountable for that. They're being sanctioned and sometimes jailed. Businesses put out of business. So there are some things happening in the United States to combat that.
But even that, I'm not even able to understand it properly. We know that in this country, there are more than 3 million illegal immigrants. Is there a system for them? Where are they supposed to get money? Where are they supposed to get food? Are there provisions for them? I want to understand that.
Well, typically when somebody comes here, so I think that we're talking about two different things. So I don't want people to get it confused. Illegal immigration is not the same thing as trafficking. That's the first thing. So illegal immigrants they can get here illegally a couple of ways. They can come here legally, right? And then stay past their visa. So then now they're illegal. Or they can enter the country illegally by being smuggled in. And when that happens, they're typically coming here for work. Or they're coming here to have their baby, because then now the baby is a citizen, and then you think you have rights here because of that. So it's all kind of different things why people do it. So typically when somebody comes here illegally, those people are getting jobs here. They're not coming here and being homeless on the street for the most part. They're working and they're earning income, and they're sending money back to their home country to take care of their family, and they're taking care of themselves here. They don't make a lot of money because they're here illegally. So whoever's hiring them is able to pay them at subpar levels, and they don't have the best of jobs, but they're working.
Okay.
And they're making more than they would be making in their other country, even though by our standards it's subpar.
Mm-hmm. Thank you very much also for that clarification. No? But anyway, I wanted to drag that argument a little bit longer, but it's okay. I look at the time. It's time for us to look at Pan-Africanism. I know, actually, before we get there, what do you think is going to be the best solution for the people who will become victims? I mean, people that are already at home, but their parents are sort of grooming them to become, because like I said before, sometimes it's not all the cases. These people are just innocent, no? Maybe they watch news, okay, they want to come, but they don't have a means to come, so they enter into this tunnel of trafficking, you know. So if you were to send a message to those kind of people who are having their vision of the United States and they want to be there tomorrow, whatever happens, no? So what would be your message to them?
So what I want to tell people is, don't believe everything that you see on TV. Because a lot of people, I talk to a lot of people all over the world, and people think that everybody in the United States is driving a Bentley. Everybody is living in some big mansion. We all have a bunch of gold chains and we're, dressing in all this name brand stuff. And what I want to tell people is you might find yourself in a situation where you're homeless here. We have a lot of homeless people in the United States. We have high unemployment rates here in the United States. This is not the land of milk and honey. Now, we do have a lot of opportunities here, and there are opportunities for people to make money here, but that doesn't necessarily mean that's going to translate into your story. So if you're going to come here, I would encourage you to do it the right way and to make sure you're linked up with reputable people and reputable organizations to help with your success, and not just fly by night come over here, because you might find yourself in a situation where you're hungry, you're homeless, you have nowhere to go, you don't know anybody, and that can be very, very dangerous.
And this coming the right way, is it even simple to do?
No, it's not. There's a process. In some cases, it can take years. It's not an easy process, but it could be the very process that saves your life, though.